everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I had big plans to be doing a Hocus Pocus inspired DIY. I've got the DIY in my head, but it's a couple of little tiny DIYs and I needed the stuff for it. I seen it in Poundland. I was like, right, I'm gonna go Poundland, go get those bits here yesterday. I went in there and honestly, right, I don't know what's happened. Either everyone's in the Halloween spirit or Poundland just isn't. There's like one tiny little bay left of Halloween stuff that's literally just like some of those little light up one things for like kids and like a few Halloween masks, and everything else has been cleared out. I don't know why. Like, have they just sold out of Halloween stock, or are they clearing it because the rest of the like seasonal kind of like aisle is now Christmas? It's not even October yet. I was like, I don't know what's happened. So I don't think we're going to be able to do that DIY anymore because the things that I wanted to do it are just not there. And I wanted to do it today for like Hocus Pocus Day. I haven't watched it yet, but it's coming out today. And considering I've been left with no DIY materials, I can't do it. So I was like, oh, I don't want to not post a video. But last weekend, well, a couple weekends ago now, I suppose, I made this. It's a bit weird. It's a bit spooky. Everyone who's seen it is either like, that's really cute or that's really scary. I think it's a mixture of both, but I really enjoy it. I love the vintage kind of Halloween inspired thing, as you guys know. So yeah, I made this. I'm really happy with it. It's full up, like to the brim and full of receipts because, again, what's scarier than tax return season? See, I've been storing everything in there. But yeah, this is the DIY I've got for you today. A different one than I had planned. Hopefully over the weekend, if I can still find those bits in another Poundland near me, I'll do it. If not, then I've officially run out of time. And we won't be getting that this year, maybe for next year. I can't believe that. I was absolutely shocked. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video on how I made that little vintage pumpkin inspired kind of like, I don't even know what you call this. Candy bucket or receipt bucket. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. I'm gonna get on into how I made that.
Okay, yeah, so to make the base of this, I ended up using this old Cuprinol tin. It's just like an old paint tin. It did have some bits of like really kind of hard, like stringy bits of paint, so I made sure to remove them. I didn't bother too much of removing the paint from the inside. I probably could have peeled it all out, but I didn't because it was just going to be unnecessary. To make the segments of the pumpkin a bit more 3D, a bit more pumpkin-like shape rather than just like paint canned, I ended up washi taping some old like paper kind of like wrapping. This was from like an Amazon parcel that I got. I just took stuff in out of that and then just kind of like made snakes out of it and like washi taped them down to the paint can in and around. My idea then was to paper mache it, so I just took some water, some PVA glue, mixed that down kind of at 50-50 kind of like, you know, right? Ratio, that's the word I'm looking for. And I just paper mache'd that on, so I ended up just like, you know, wetting it down, putting some tissue paper down, then putting some more of the glue water combo on top, and it just kept going. I did probably about 5 layers of this in total, but didn't like the texture it turned out, so I went ahead and made some paper mache clay, and I ended up putting that all over the top of the paper mache kind of like a base that you would have just seen me do. Now this I did 2 layers of in total, just really thin, coated that on there, leaving it to dry in between. The paper mache recipe that I use, I have got a video of that on my channel, so if I find it I'll link it down below somewhere. I did it a couple of years ago, so don't expect, you know, amazing video things or anything. There's plenty of tutorials on YouTube on paper mache clay, but I just mixed that up and covered all of that in that paper mache clay mix. Once I was happy with that, I then went in and, you know, drew out the rough face. I don't know why I decided on this face. This is definitely the bit that made it spooky. And I added some more paper mache clay bits on like some of the accents, so like on the cheek areas to make them a little bit more like puffier, on the eyebrows to make them a little bit more 3D, and I also went ahead and made a little air dry clay nose. I was originally going to be adding loads of paper mache clay onto that, but I thought just make an air dry clay one and then just stick that on, so that's exactly what I went ahead and did there. Now this was really textured, like really deeply textured, a little bit more than I wanted it to be. So in order to smooth some areas out and just like make them a little bit more kind of like put together, a little bit more, I don't know, just purposeful looking. I don't know how to describe it, just to make it look a little bit better. Basically, I just used a nail file, just filed it down. You could use sandpaper if you wanted to. I don't know, nail files always come in so handy to me. So it still had plenty of texture on. I just took some of those really big lumps out and just kind of defined like the edges that I wanted, and then I moved on to painting. So the first coat I did an acrylic mix of like acrylic paint and then 50-50 that with water, so just watered it right down to make like a nice base coat layer. This is really opaque acrylic paint, but trust me, this is 50-50 wash. I probably could have done an even thinner coat just because I know that the paper mache clay does absorb the first kind of bit of paint, so I did that, then did a second layer of that orange, and yeah, it turned out really nicely actually. I went in and kind of contoured the whole piece down, just using some lighter oranges on the bits that I wanted sticking out, some darker oranges on like the indents of the segments, and that worked out really well as well. Definitely gives it a lot more dimension like in real life. You probably can't quite tell on camera, but like I said, in real life this definitely adds so much more dimension. Something that I like to do when I'm doing a lot of toy art is just like to actually fully define the pieces where the shadows naturally fall and adding in a bit of acrylic paint there. Like, not something you could tell unless you really look at it in person, but it definitely does make a difference. For the cheeks, I ended up going in with just like a bit of red mixed into like the same kind of orangey shade, and then mixing that into the cheeks and building it up until I had a nice blushy kind of finish on those like 3D bits that I kind of like, you know, shaped earlier. With the eyes, I just went in and painted them white, as you can see here, just, you know, eyes, white base of them, then painted the colour in on them. I then went in and actually with a fine paintbrush just painted in the details with that, and I ended up painting like outlines of the eyes with this tiny little brush as well. It definitely took me a long time to put the line work on, but I felt like it just gave it an extra pop once again. Probably wasn't that necessary, and definitely took a little bit of time obviously painting on that textured surface, but I think it just made the eyes and everything popped so well. When it came to the eyebrows, I just painted them in with the same kind of colour in. I don't know why, they just make me laugh so much. Then I painted the little candy corn nose in just candy corn colours. Once I had done that, I wanted a little bit more distressing, so I just dry brushed all the way around, and then I decided it was missing something from the front, so I went in and made a tinfoil base for a bow, covered that in the clay, and then painted that up as well, and that was pretty much it.
So yeah, this is how it's turned out. I really love it. I think actually I did think about putting some flowers in it, using it as like a little vase. I'm like turning it this way, by the way, because this bit here turned out a bit flat. Should have added an extra segment. Oh, so we turn it this way, look, so cute. This side, not so much. It's like, oh, where's the other part of my head gone? But yeah, I really, really like it. I think it's so cute anyway. I'm so happy with it. I cannot wait. I'm actually going away for quite a lot of October. Because I've got to go live my best Halloween life. Not going to mention where I'm going yet online until I'm actually there, because yeah, it's all been a bit of a whirlwind thing. But yeah, I'm going to go live my best Halloween life, and hopefully I'm going to find some vintage Halloween things along my way, or vintage inspired things, hoping to get some Joanna Parker in. I think this just gives me that sort of vibe. So yeah, I made this before I even thought about going and doing that, and yeah, I love him. So hopefully this has inspired you to get crafting. Even if it's not making something as silly as this and spending like 2 days on it. But yeah, it's kept me busy. I obviously love it now. I think it's so funny, and I'm so happy to have it. I'm going to keep this forever until it like deteriorates or whatever. I think it should be good. It's so rock hard. Like, can you hear that? It's just like, it's completely solid. So long as I keep it dry and stuff, then again, it should be fine because it's coated in acrylic. So basically, I'm keeping this forever. Don't know what I'm talking about. As you can tell, I did not plan today's video. I'm just having a whale of a time with it. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you very soon for another one. Hopefully a DIY. Might not be. Might be a decorate with me, because I haven't done any autumn decorating. I've put up like a few candles and stuff just because it's Halloween. I've got a few signs, a little Clarence, a little pumpkin doll up there. But nothing really. I haven't gone into like the decor cupboard, got any autumn DIY decor out, any stuff that I've done in the past and everything. I've got Halloween stuff up there. But considering I'm going to be away for October, it makes no sense, because then when I come back it's November and I'm like, oh, Christmas. Not that I decorate in November, I decorate in December. But you get it. Anyway, I'm talking too much. I hope you have had a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you very soon for another one.